Major bombshell one day after Democrats advanced their push for impeachment. The White House claims the transcript shows there were no promises made to Ukraine in return for releasing military aid. There was no quid pro quo, no pressure at all. The Justice Department today pushing back on the claim that the whistleblower complaint was an urgent concern requiring the attention of Congress. That's the backdrop. Here's the news. Catherine Herridge is live at the Department of Justice. Catherine, you have seen it. What's in it?
Well, thank you, Bill, and good morning. We have reviewed the transcript, and let's just walk folks at home through a tick-tock of events. This call took place on July 25th. It was a half-hour call between 9:03 and 9:33 a.m., and the transcript is approximately 5 pages in length. It begins with the president congratulating the Ukrainian president on his election victory. Then they have a very specific discussion about foreign aid. The president says the U.S. is a strong supporter of Ukraine, and then he complains that the Europeans are not doing enough to support that country. And then this is the key part of the transcript. There is an ask for the president to the Ukrainian counterpart. And it reads, "I would like you to do us a favor, though, because our country has been through a lot and Ukraine knows a lot about it. I would like you to find out what happened with this whole situation with Ukraine. They say CrowdStrike. That appears to be a reference to the hacking of the Clinton emails in 2016. I guess you have one of your wealthy people, the server. They say Ukraine has it." And then he continues, "This is the most fulsome discussion of Joe Biden and his son, Hunter Biden. There's a lot of talk about Biden's son, that Biden stopped the prosecution, and a lot of people want to find out about that. So whatever you can do with the Attorney General would be great." That's Attorney General William Barr. "Biden went about bragging that he stopped the prosecution, so if you can look into it, it sounds horrible to me." Then the Ukrainian president responds, talking about the prosecutor he will have in place to look specifically at this issue that relates to the natural gas company Burisma. He states he or she will look into the situation specifically to the company that you mentioned in this issue. The issue of the investigation of the case is actually the issue to restore the honesty. Seems to be a reference to integrity, sort of anti-corruption. So we will take care of that, and we will work on the investigation of the case. Mr. Trump then responds, "I will have Mr. Giuliani give you a call, and I'm also going to have Attorney General Barr call, and we will get to the bottom of it. I'm sure you will figure it out." The key thing from the initial reading of this transcript, Bill, is that there are not multiple references, as widely reported, to the former vice president and his son. Based on our count, there's a key reference and then some follow-on references, so a handful, approximately 3. And then I would also emphasize that there is no clear link in the transcript between this withheld aid and the promise of a prosecution in this particular case, Bill.
Okay, so what do we know about how all this unfolded there? You go to DOJ this morning, and what happened after that, Catherine?
Well, we've learned more from Justice Department officials about the tick-tock of events. So what we now know through our briefing is that it was White House officials who told the whistleblower about this call between the president and the Ukrainian president. They also confirmed that the whistleblower did not have firsthand or direct knowledge of the complaint and the phone call. And then there's a very important quote I hope you can bring up from what's called an Office of Legal Counsel opinion. This is a legal opinion from the Justice Department on the whistleblower. It says, although the ICIG, so that's the Intelligence Community Inspector General's preliminary review found, quote, some indicia, that means indications, of an arguable political bias on the part of the complainant is the whistleblower, in favor of a rival political candidate, the ICIG, the watchdog, concluded that the whistleblower's allegations nonetheless appeared to be credible. So what we learned is that White House officials were familiar with the call. They passed that information to the whistleblower. The Inspector General for the intelligence community recognized that this was hearsay or secondhand information, and that also the whistleblower had some kind of political bias, but he still felt that the allegations were credible enough to investigate. That set into motion a series of events over the last month. There was a referral to the Justice Department, also a referral to the FBI, over whether the president's ask on that phone call amounted to a campaign finance violation. So what they had to show legally is that the president's ask for information related to the Bidens was a, quote, thing of value. And what Justice Department officials have told us is that this ask did not reach that threshold, so a criminal investigation was not opened, and they consider the campaign finance violation element of this to be closed.